Good morning, or whenever you're watching this video. Today I'm going to show you how I make my homemade protein bars that are packed with superfoods like collagen, chia seeds, flax seeds. They're super tasty, and I've gotten a lot of requests for this recipe, so I'm going to show you, and hopefully I can give you a time-saving tip on how to get all your macros in. So today I'll be using this first Phorm Collagen, and this is my favorite brand of collagen protein because it doesn't have, I don't know, there's a weird collagen taste sometimes in them. This does not. This one is salted caramel flavor. I think that's my favorite from them. And then I have the flax seeds, the chia seeds, and everything we need to make this. And Brody is going to be part of the video, just making sure I'm safe, protecting me against the mailman and all things like that, because I am in severe danger here because the mailman comes to my door. So he'll be making sure I'm safe. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is start the recipe, and I start this with 10 eggs, which I know sounds like a lot of eggs, but I love eggs, and egg yolks are like a vitamin in, what is that saying? Egg yolks are like a multivitamin in an egg, so 10 eggs. Okay, I have the eggs cracked, and if you wanted to modify the recipe to do it lower fat, you could do 15 egg whites instead, and that would still taste the same. You wouldn't get all the nutrients you get in the egg yolks, but it would be a lot less fat. Next, I'm going to add 50 grams of chia seeds. And this is a time-saving tip. I just have my KitchenAid bowl on my scale, and that's how I measure out everything. So I don't have any utensils or measuring cups to do. I just do everything by grams. So then for flaxseed, I'm going to do 60 grams. Okay, next is the pancake mix. And I think this just adds to the bars and makes them taste more cakey. So if you wanted to swap this out, you could just use a blend of oat flour or just plain oat flour, oatmeal. You could use any type of flour. This is the brand. I just keep everything in pretty bowls because I just like everything labeled and clean in my kitchen. So for this, I'm going to do 200 grams. So the serving size on this for like one portion of pancakes is 50 grams. So it's about like 4 portions of their pancakes. Next, I'm going to add my favorite collagen powder. If you want to order this, there is a link in the description below, and it is by far the best. One thing that's great about collagen in general is that it really helps your hair and skin. And I definitely noticed like little hairs, when I first started this, I noticed like little baby hairs coming in. Like it really has grown my hair more than anything else. And if you remember in 2019 through 2018 through 2021, I think I had blonde hair, and that is very damaging for a natural dark brunette. So thankfully I have the collagen to help me, and this is just my favorite brand. So flavor salted caramel. I'm going to add 120 grams of this. My favorite ingredient ever, canned pumpkin. So yes, I'm going to put the whole tub of this. So especially, and this is 2 of the little cans. This is a monster can. Especially if you subbed out the egg yolks for whites, then you definitely want to put the pumpkin because these make the bars really moist, and it's what you need because there's not much butter in this. Okay, the next thing I have laying here is the potato starch. This is unmodified potato starch, and I know it's kind of a weird ingredient. You probably have never heard of it before. It's similar to cornstarch, so it's used as a thickening agent, but this does a really good job of keeping your gut healthy, and I am all about gut health. So I do notice when I use some of this flour instead of regular flour that I just have better digestion and I just feel more regular. So I always just add a little bit of this. So in this recipe, I'm going to put 60 grams of it in. Okay, next we have the salt. I probably do about 6 grams of this. I just eyeball it. Then baking powder. Again, I eyeball everything. So this is, I'll tell you exactly how many grams this is. 3 grams of baking powder. And then next we have my favorite ingredient, which is stevia. I use this liquid stevia because It only has, well, I'll tell you the ingredients. So the first ingredient is water, which that makes me happy. Second ingredient is certified organic stevia leaf extract. And then the next ingredient is 11% organic cane alcohol. So the stevia needs that alcohol in order to like hold to it. So you can't get around having the alcohol in there. But this just doesn't have any, sometimes when brands say stevia and you look at the ingredients, it has like erythritol and all these other ingredients, but this is just pure stevia. And this bottle has 1,823 servings. So it goes a long, long way, and it's very sweet. So if someone comes over and they ask for stevia, I always warn them like a little bit goes a long way. And so I'll tell you how many grams I put in here of this. So I do 2 grams of this. You can do more or less depending on your taste. And I always taste a little bit before I put them in the oven just to make sure that everything is sweet enough for me. Okay, then the final ingredient before we blend everything together, and I don't do any sifting or anything doing the eggs separate. I just do everything right at once because this is a time-saving thing and they don't taste any different to me. So I'm gonna do about 1 cup of cashew milk, which is 240 grams. Okay. So we've got everything in there. It kind of looks disgusting right now, but I'm gonna go pop it in the KitchenAid. And okay, so next I have this huge sheet pan, and then I also have silicone little bar makers. I got these off of Amazon and I've used them a ton of times and they still work great. Love them. So one tip I have about this cooking oil is if you are on prep, you want to make sure that your macros are 100% on point. Like you don't want to just be guessing on anything. You want to know exactly what it is. So for this, this has a lot of calories in it, even though it says 0. It's not true. If you are very particular about your macros, place the butter spray on the scale, then tar the scale, lift it up. Now I'm going to do a lot of this because I like it and they don't have that much fat anyways, and my fat macros are high, so I can get away with that. But like, I just want to show you what you can get away with and then what I actually do. So you could get away with just a light spray. So that right there was 5 grams. So just that light spray was 5 times 9, 45 calories. So just that light spray, 45 calories in it. And then I like to coat the sides. A lot of that is because I don't want any issue when I take them out. I just want them to fall out because time saving, yes. Okay, so the grand total, that is 18 grams of this. And that really adds up over time, 18 grams of fat. I know some competitors who don't even have 18 grams of fat in their daily allowance. So if you want to track that, that would really add up, especially if you're using this a lot. So that's a tip that I like to give people if you want to use this, but you're worried about how many calories it actually has, just it's grams, and the only thing in here, the first ingredient is canola oil. So like that's the main ingredient. And that's the way I do it. Okay, now we're ready to put the bars in the bar pan. And I'm going to try it first just to make sure it's sweet enough. Yeah, I like that. That is perfect. I just ate some raw eggs, so hopefully I'm fine. I do it all the time. And I've only had food poisoning once in my life, and I don't even know if it was food poisoning. So could have just been the stomach bug. Anyways, okay, so these bars are super convenient, and I always have a tub of them in like the work fridge. Just, if I need a snack and I want something quick, I'm not a fan of eating a lot of packaged things because I just feel better when I eat mostly whole ingredients. So, this has the same macros as, I'll tell you right now, as a bar, a typical protein bar. Actually, it's going to be posted below because I don't have that saved. This has the same macros as a typical protein bar. I think it has 160 calories and it's split up pretty evenly between carbs and protein with just a little bit of fat. I have one gravy ladle thing in each of the bars. So I am going to take my cinnamon and do a layer of cinnamon. Okay, and since I'm making this video, we're gonna go a little fancy. And I am going to, you can omit this step, but I'm going to add about probably 5 grams of Swerve brand brown sugar to each bar so that we get a brown sugar cinnamon kind of middle. And so with this does have erythritol in it. This Swerve brown sugar does. And so you want to be, if you have digestion issues, I would highly recommend not doing this. Or if you're sensitive to sugar alcohols, definitely do not add this extra layer. If you're on prep, definitely do not add this. These macros, so like for example, if I do 5 grams to each bar, which I'm actually doing a little bit less than that, but say I did 5 grams to each bar. So erythritol has, when you're saying, 5 grams of anything has calories. 5 grams of brown sugar would have 20 calories because 4 calories per gram. However, erythritol, only 0.2 calories get actually used by your body per gram. So that's saying that with 5 grams, you're only getting 4 calories because you only have that 1 gram, which is 4 calories. But on prep, you don't want to risk anything like this because you never know. And I will say that if you overdo sugar alcohols, you can get some digestion issues. Okay, so I have all that in there, and I'm going to do just a little bit more cinnamon because I love cinnamon. Okay, so I have all the bars ready. And if you wanted to change this into like a brown sugar cinnamon swirl bread or a cinnamon swirl bread, you could take your spoon and or a knife and just kind of swirl in the middle layer. However, I want to do this how it has like a significant layer in there, especially with the brown sugar, because it'll get all caramelized and delicious. They smell and look beautiful. So I'm going to let them cool for a little bit, put them on a wire rack. So I'm going to let these cool on a wire rack. That's why I use a lot of the butter spray because they just fall right out. There we go. So I'm going to let these cool for about 30 minutes on here. And then I am just going to wrap them all up and they will be ready to go.